Hey, you guys, thank you for being here. This episode's going to be talking about a new game coming out called Strike Rush. It's out of South Korea, and I had the opportunity to play and take part in a beta. We'll be watching some gameplay that I put together, and ultimately, this is going to be a review of the game in early beta, understanding that there are changes that will be made, that I wasn't playing the full, complete version of the game, and so this is going to be a sneak peek for you as much as it is a message to the creators in the hopes that they can make the changes that really need to be made in preparation for its launch. The last video I made, I titled something like "The World's Greatest VR YouTuber," which no one really paid any attention to the thing I wrote on the bottom, which basically said, I obviously don't think that highly of myself, but my mom does. I'm glad that so many people took it as it was meant to be, just a goof. Obviously, no, I'm not the greatest VR YouTuber in the world, but makes me feel good making videos like that, so I'm gonna keep doing it. What are you gonna do about it? Thank you for being here. You guys are watching Bringhurst VR. All right, so this game is called Strike Rush. It's out of South Korea. This is from Skonec Entertainment, and according to UploadVR, it's expected to release somewhere around April 18th of this year. And UploadVR has a rundown of this as far as a description of the game. I think it's apt. They say Strike Rush is a PvP FPS experience set in the post-apocalyptic cyberpunk-style battlefield. Players must fight across a map of immersive environments like Seoul-inspired cityscapes and massive stadiums booming with superior technology. Yeah, I think that was written for them. With superior technology. To be successful, players will befriend an AI companion called Blitzmon, which will help them get through enemy lines and support team members. So, okay, I'm glad I read that. That's helpful. So Blitzmon is a dog. It's a mechanical dog that runs beside you, and it's got, I think, rocket launchers on its back. They call it AI, but in the game that I played, it needs more fleshing out. It's nothing to write home about. It essentially follows you wherever you go, and when you find yourself in a tight spot, enemy fire coming your way, it'll kind of jump in front of you, launch something at the enemy. It's nice having backup now and again, but we'll talk more about that and what its shortcomings actually are. They have a number of maps to begin with, and they essentially divide you into two teams on separate sides of the map, so that there's a force field door. You get a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 start, and the force field disables, and you can exit to the main battlefield. You in the lobby are able to pick the gun that you want. Prior to entering that lobby, there's like a main menu where you can pick your character. You have a number of them to choose from, and each character has different abilities, but I stuck to the main dude. But once you're in the game, you're making your way across the map. You'll find different items strewn about the map to kind of improve your performance and give you better odds. And depending on the map, I think, because I didn't see it every time, there is a giant mech machine for each team, kind of standing upright on each end of the map, so that you can enter it and kind of control it from this first person point of view, obviously VR, firing these heavy Gatling guns and firing rockets and just wiping out the enemy, kind of a flick of your finger. That part was honestly the best part for me. It was fun maneuvering that mech robot, but sadly it didn't come up that often. Either I had trouble getting to the robot, or the opportunity just didn't present itself, or there wasn't a robot to speak of on the map. They're really only included in these larger arena type maps. The reason it's called Strike Rush, I imagine, to some extent, is because they give you the option to dash. If you remember, was it Solaris, I think? Kind of bolt forward. But in this game, it's limited. You can't do it whenever you want. It kind of drains after every time you do it, so you dash, and then 5 seconds later, maybe, you can dash again. And it gives you what feels like a 10-foot leap, which is nice, but it really should have been implemented like just constantly. There's not even a meter showing, your drain and how soon until you can dash again. And that wouldn't be so frustrating if they gave you the option to run, but there is no running in this game. So if you're on one end of the map and you want to cross to your buddies on the other side, you could dash once if there's gunfire and just hell raining down, but otherwise you're just kind of meandering along, and it's extremely frustrating. So at the end of the gameplay, I was able to give them suggestions, but a couple things I either didn't think of or didn't mention on the spot, and I'll address some of that here. Hopefully some of those developers are watching. Now, what I'll say about the game, aspects of it were fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed operating the mech robot. The guns fire in a way that is satisfactory, and I didn't hate it. Some of the maps honestly took me back to Marathon. Maybe not everyone will feel that way, but a couple maps in particular related to arenas. It felt like Marathon to me. And so given that, I was especially bummed that, as far as I could tell, there were no rocket launchers to speak of. Rocket launchers are kind of the bee's knees, and it's kind of a bummer that it's restricted to these fully automatic and semi-automatic guns. It would have been nice to see some rocket launchers, some grenades, some rail guns, something with a little more destructive power. If that stuff is there, I didn't come across it myself. The maps are designed pretty well. Like I said, some of them harkened back to Marathon or even Unreal Tournament in a couple situations. And then at times elsewhere, it feels like Call of Duty, though the textures leave something to be wanted. It's Quest standalone. I was kind of bummed to see that there wasn't a Steam companion app. That would have been nice, but I used the Quest Games Optimizer about half the time during this beta. And granted, if I'd taken the time, I could have tweaked the resolution to make it play better, but I just went pedal to the metal, and it basically broke the game. The Quest Games Optimizer was asking too much of the game, and so though I could have fixed it, I could have brought it down some. I just bailed on it and played standard, which, you know, it's not quite my thing, playing with that kind of resolution. And the textures that they have, especially when coupled with the just standalone resolution that the Quest 3 offers, left a lot to be desired. So before I start bagging on it, before I start just tearing it apart, and this is for the developers as much as it is for you, so you know what to expect, let's just say the game play, the gun mechanics, the mech robots, and when it's working well, even the companion dog could make for a fun game. A lot needs to be fixed. I think that with what I'm about to say, if they improve upon this, it could be a kick-ass game. So let's get into it. I don't want to repeat myself through this. I know I do that sometimes. So right now, let's just give it over to my past self. I had things to say inside the game. Let's watch some of that and see what I have to say. For the record, my hand, I'm making a fist. It's like here. So the hand is like crazy up above. It's like my hands are wearing hats. So aggravating. Explain this to me. The text gets smaller the closer you get. It doesn't make any sense.
Match stopped.
And oh my god! Someone's dog is just standing here. Okay. No music. Can I grab this, please? Would that be alright with you
Bravo
if I grab
down.
this?
Bravo down.
Grab it? Okay, so... Oh my god. Alright. For real. We should be able to talk to each other. Can anyone hear me? Oh my god. Alright. Here's my problem with it. Okay. Alright. It's janky. The jump forward thing is no good. It's... If you're going to give it to us all the time. I should be able to click forward on the joystick and run. That's it. I love the giant mech bot. Keep that. But, I mean, I should be able to run. Let me run in the game. And, like, don't make me hold the gun at the very tip of the gun. I'm holding it like way out here, and it's not realistic. I want to hold it here. That's what I want. That's what feels right. Quest Games Optimizer doesn't work well with this. It just crashes, at least with the resolution I specified. And so looking at my name here, and Jake262, what is this, my dog? It's like, I can't even read it. It's pixelated. So I know what I'll do. I'll get closer. And it f***ing gets smaller. What are you doing? Dude! You! Okay, follow me, dog. There we go. But look, well, I think I'll go upstairs. Oh no, you're not gonna follow me up there. But come over here. Yeah, good dog. Now we're together. You can't even read these rules of engagement. Look how fuzzy that is. There's no settings. No way to adjust the gun stock. No seeing how many games I've played. So just to recap, here's what needs to change in preparation for their official launch. If people are expected to have a good time, if they want a successful launch and a game that people really want to play, you need to add a running. Or if we're not able to run, give us a constant dash ability. And if you're not going to give us a constant dash ability, we need some kind of a meter showing this is depleted and count down to using the dash again. Need to fix the dog because can't follow you upstairs, at least in the main lobby. That doesn't happen. At times the dog is just standing around. At times he's not. Sometimes he's firing, sometimes he's not. And as far as I can see, it's just software needs improving. Icons over people's names is hilariously rough. The resolution of the quest, and I said it previously, so I won't get into it too much, but it's just not good enough for reading text that's this big. And so you think, oh, I'll get closer and I'll read it, but you can't, because the closer you get, paradoxically, gets smaller the closer you get to it. So anytime you want to read anyone's name, I don't know, tuck your head between your knees and just hope that it comes to you in a vision, because trying to get closer to it just makes it smaller, and it's really absurd. It would be nice to have a grenade launcher, a rocket launcher, something with real destruction. Maybe it's too late in the game to go asking for new textures, but it is noticeably kind of dull. You can't talk to your teammates. Maybe that was a limitation of the beta. I don't know, but we weren't given the option to speak to each other, and it seems like we should have. The lobby, where we're a room where you're waiting for the game to start, and there's a countdown, and you can pick your guns. That's what I'm talking about. From there, for sure, we should be able to speak to our teammates, discuss a game plan, and you go this way, and I go this way, and what gun are you using? Oh, I'm using this gun. We should be able to talk to each other. It would make for a better experience, but again, maybe they restricted that inside the beta. Now, I tried using a gun stock in this game because the guns are perfectly built for a gun stock. You don't have so many guns that the gun stock is going to muck things up. A lot of the guns, they do want you to hold it like this, and it seems super unnatural. It would be nice if they took whatever gun you're using and they took the front hand grip and brought it down some so it was more natural. I think that would be a big improvement over what they have. But the issue is that when using a gun stock, the gun is always, I want to say, too high. And so in traditional games, you're able to go into settings and adjust that gun and bring it down so it matches your gun stock. But they didn't give us any settings in the menu. And again, that could be a limitation of the beta. But regardless, I'm forced to say it. Give us settings, let us adjust the gun position, because the guns are built great for a gun stock if only we could adjust them to get them set up. I kind of think that in the latter half of that beta, because what they did was they hosted 2 different days, and for I think 3 hours on one day, 3 hours on the next day, several of us were invited to take part in this. And the first day, few of us were just wiping the floor with the other team. It's kind of, again, a limitation of the game, I think. You always spawn from like your little room behind the force field, where even during live gameplay, fine, you can go out once you start there, but the opposing team can't get in. They can't shoot through. You're safe in that room, picking your gun until you walk out. And so you know where they're spawning from. A few of us just walked over there and we just waited by the force field. And like Krusty's Funhouse, they just keep walking out, and I just keep shooting them and taking them down, and my dog's just standing there looking at me like, should we keep doing this, or you think it's unethical? No, we keep doing it.
Bravo down. 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 Bravo down.
You find yourself in that position, there's nothing you can do about it. You're out of luck. Or maybe the other team was just terrible. I don't know. No offense if you were on that other team, and I'm sorry for wiping the floor with you. I don't want this video to be too long. These guys asked me to take part in this, and full disclosure, myself and a few others, we were paid to take part in this beta run, and part of the terms of that is me talking about the game. I'm not going to say anything that isn't true. Everything I'm saying negative about the game is so you know what to expect to some extent, though a lot of it will be changed down the line, I'm sure, but it's more for the developers. I hope they watch this because these changes, I mean, they need to be made. There were moments where I had a good time, and I believe it has the potential to be good if these changes are implemented. And that's all I got. That's Strike Rush by Skonec Entertainment. It's expected to drop somewhere in April, and right now it's kind of a hot mess, but could have the potential to be cool. We have another Patreon subscriber, the Medic VTech. Thank you for being here. I can't do this without you guys. Thank you to my YouTube memberships and my Patreon subscribers. I really appreciate it. In the previous video, my greatest VR YouTuber of all time, that nonsense, I launched Quest 3 giveaway. It's a bundle. I'm giving away the Quest 3, the Kiwi Design dock, the Kiwi Design accompanying battery head strap, and I'm giving away the Deadeye VR golf club. Link to that is in the description. It's through Gleam, so it's all on the up and up. I'll be pulling that trigger somewhere in early February, so be sure to click that. Please subscribe. Please like this video. It really helps with the algorithm. Glad you guys are here. You guys have been watching Bringhurst VR.